Marcus keeps flirting with Jasmine and Amber, which angers Rob. He warns his daughters to stay away from Marcus. While the men are talking, Kurt shares his stories about girls and mentions the last one he was with, a blonde who was stunning. Rob assumes he is talking about his daughter Jasmine and hits him. Thinking it might also be Amber, he hits him again. The story starts in 1978. 5 childhood friends win their junior high basketball championship. They celebrate at a lake house where their coach, Buzzer, tells them to live life the way they played the game. The 5 friends later drift apart, and 30 years after, Lenny is now a successful Hollywood talent agent. He is married to Roxanne, a stylish Latina fashion designer. They have 3 kids, Greg, Keith, and Becky. Lenny feels annoyed at how spoiled Greg and Keith have become. Eric pretends to be a co-owner of a lawn furniture business just to impress his friends. He has 2 kids, Donna and Bean. His wife, Sally, is still treating Bean like a baby even though he is already 4. Kurt is a stay-at-home dad with 2 children, Andre and Charlotte. His wife, Dean, is the breadwinner and expecting their 3rd child. Dean's mother, Ronzoni, also lives with them, and they all give Kurt a hard time for being unhelpful at home. Marcus stayed single and is still chasing women. Rob, a vegan who has already gone through 3 divorces, is now married to Gloria, who is 30 years older than him. They learn that their coach has passed away, so they all fly back to New England with their families. Everyone is glad to see each other again and takes time to introduce their families. After the funeral, they all go to the lake house, which Lenny rented for the 4th of July weekend. But Lenny cannot stay the whole time since his wife has an important fashion show in Milan. He grows frustrated with his kids, who would rather play video games than go outside like he and his friends used to. The fathers then push their kids to head outdoors and play. At a nearby restaurant, Lenny runs into his old rival, Dickie, who now works as a cook. Dickie still hasn't let go of their old game and insists that Lenny stepped out of bounds when he made the winning shot. He challenges Lenny and his friends to a rematch, but Lenny refuses, saying it's pointless. Later at dinner, the group talks about spreading their coach's ashes in the morning. Lenny says he cannot join because of his wife's fashion show. Roxanne gets upset and storms off, thinking Lenny is making her look bad to his friends. Because of this, she changes her mind and lets Lenny go with his friends to spread the ashes, but they must leave first thing the next day. The next morning, the 5 row to an island to scatter the ashes. When Rob spreads them, he breaks down in tears and confesses about his failed marriages. He is also anxious to meet his daughters, whom he invited to visit. On their way back, Rob's daughters begin to arrive. First is Jasmine, an attractive young woman who asks for help fixing her car. Rob gets teased by his friends and feels down. To cheer him up, the 5 decide to play arrow roulette, shooting an arrow straight up, and the last to move wins. Everyone runs for cover except Rob, who doesn't budge until the arrow comes down and sticks into his foot. While they help him, Rob's 2nd daughter arrives, Amber, a beautiful Asian girl. Soon after, his 3rd daughter, Bridget, shows up, and to everyone's disappointment, she looks just like Rob. That evening, Roxanne is preparing to leave the next day. Her daughter Becky comes in and says her tooth fell out. Roxanne, feeling busy and irritated, tells her she will just put $1 under her pillow later. Becky is crushed to find out there is no tooth fairy. Worried, Roxanne tells Lenny about it. Lenny goes to the kids' room and finds them using cup phones to talk with other kids. He feels happy seeing them start to enjoy themselves like he and his friends used to. He then asks everyone to set up cup phones around the house. Roxanne uses the cups to talk to Becky and tells her that she really is the tooth fairy. The next morning, as Roxanne is packing the car, she notices all the kids playing by the lake. They are laughing and skipping rocks, so she joins them. She then decides to stay and tells Lenny they can't leave the lake house because she has to learn how to skip rocks. Lenny is glad to see her change of heart and suggests they all go to the water park. Everyone is thrilled and they head off together. At the park, Bean learns to drink milk from a carton. Marcus keeps flirting with Jasmine and Amber, which angers Rob. He warns his daughters to stay away from Marcus. They run into Dickie and his gang again, who try to mess with them at the zipline. Wiley, one of Dickie's buddies, ends up crashing into a shed while riding down. When they get back to the house, Dean sees her husband Kurt spending time with Rita, Lenny's nanny, and grows suspicious. That evening, the adults relax together, drinking and sharing memories from their youth. Later, everyone dances with their partners, except Kurt, who ends up dancing with a bottle. The next morning, they raise the flag to celebrate the 4th of July. While the men are talking, Kurt shares his stories about girls and mentions the last one he was with, a blonde who was stunning. Rob assumes he is talking about his daughter Jasmine and hits him. Thinking it might also be Amber, he hits him again. Jasmine and Amber quickly assure him that Kurt never went near them. Marcus also tells him he would never cross that line with his daughters. Then, Roxanne confronts her husband Lenny about canceling their Milan trip before the funeral, without telling her. Lenny explains that he felt it was better for their family to spend time at the lake house with regular people since their kids were becoming too spoiled. He promises Roxanne that there will be no more lies. Dean also confronts Kurt, accusing him of flirting with Rita. Kurt tells her he wasn't flirting, but that he simply enjoyed having real conversation with her, something he rarely gets from his wife. Dean promises she will start taking him out on more dates. Afterward, Eric admits to the group that he is not a lawn furniture co-owner and that he actually lost his job 2 months earlier. He only pretended otherwise because he didn't want them to see him as a failure. Lenny then offers him a car detailing business to manage. Gloria shares her thoughts about feeling the love and bond among everyone, giving a heartfelt speech. They all come together for a big group hug. The group then heads to the 4th of July barbecue, and everyone enjoys the celebration. Later, Dickie and his friends show up and once again challenge Lenny and his group to a basketball rematch. Even though he is hurt, Rob insists that their coach would have wanted them to take the challenge. So, the basketball game between Lenny's group and Dickie's team begins, with their wives cheering from the side. Everyone gets exhausted, but the game stays close until only Lenny and Dickie remain on the court. They decide to let their sons join in. When Lenny is about to take the winning shot, he purposely misses, allowing Dickie to win and finally feel a sense of victory. Lenny and his friends gladly accept the loss. That night, everyone gathers to watch the fireworks. Marcus, drunk, suggests playing arrow roulette again. Everyone runs, except Wiley, who is injured and unable to move. The arrow comes down and lands directly on his foot, causing him to pass out.